Imagine opening your phone. You see a headline. It's shocking. It makes you angry. Within seconds, you've already decided whether it's true. Maybe you share it in a group chat. Maybe you leave an angry comment. Maybe you remember it for years. Only later do you discover it wasn't true at all. It was completely fabricated. So how could that happen? How can millions of intelligent, rational people believe things that never actually occurred? The answer isn't that humanity suddenly grew less intelligent. It's that your brain was never built to deal with the internet. It was built to survive in the wild. And sometimes, the exact same shortcuts that once kept our ancestors alive are the ones that make us incredibly vulnerable to misinformation today. Today, we are looking at the deep psychology and neurology of modern deception. Why do people believe fake news? And by the end of this video, you might start questioning your own memory and beliefs more than anyone else's. To understand why a fake headline works today, we have to travel back 50,000 years. Imagine hearing a sudden rustling in the tall grass. Your brain has to make a choice instantly. Is it a predator? Or is it just the wind? If you guess it's a predator, but it's just the wind, you lose nothing. You ran away or got startled for no reason, but you're still alive. But if you guess it's just the wind, and it turns out to be a predator, that is the end of your evolutionary line. Because of this asymmetrical trade-off, evolution strongly favored brains that jump to conclusions. We are genetically wired to assume there is intent, danger, and a pattern behind everything. Fast decisions used to beat perfect, slow calculated decisions every single day. But now, fast forward to the 21st century. The tall grass has been replaced by your social media feed. The rustling noises are now tweets, headlines, and short video clips. Instead of facing a few inputs a day, your brain is bombarded with more information in a single afternoon than a medieval villager processed in an entire lifetime. Your brain does not have the capacity, the time, or the energy to fact-check every single thing it reads. So it falls back on its ancient settings. It skips the deep analysis and asks three incredibly basic questions. Does this feel right? Does this match what I already think? Does my community agree? If the answers are yes, the caveman in your head pulls the lever and stamps it as truth. In psychology, there's a concept known as cognitive ease. Simply put, your brain hates working harder than it has to. Thinking deeply, evaluating dry data, and reading through 20-page research papers is exhausting. It consumes massive amounts of glucose and mental energy. Because your brain operates on limited energy, it seeks out cognitive shortcuts to save power. An idea that is easy to understand, formatted nicely, and written in simple language feels true because it is easy for the brain to process. Psychologists call this high processing fluency. Fake news publishers understand this perfectly, even if they don't know the science behind it. They write short, punchy paragraphs. They use bold, emotional words. They put their claims in simple black and white terms. They give you clear villains and obvious heroes. A complex, true explanation about global supply chains and economic policy is dense and confusing. A fake headline blaming a single country or a specific politician is incredibly easy to understand. Your brain naturally mistakes the ease of understanding a story for the truth of the story itself. We don't choose the most logical explanation. We choose the one that didn't give us a headache. When you read an article, your brain immediately splits the information into two separate folders. The first folder is the verbatim folder. This holds the exact, precise details, names, dates, and numbers. The second folder is the gist folder. This holds the general feeling, the overall theme, and the moral of the story. The exact details folder is incredibly fragile. It begins to fade almost immediately, but the gist folder is highly durable. It can stay intact in your memory for decades. This is why, a month after reading a completely debunked article, you will still remember the overall narrative. You might say, well, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I know that company is corrupt because of something I read last month. Even if you were explicitly told the article was fake, the emotional residue, the gist, stays behind. Your brain cannot easily unring a bell. Once a piece of misinformation is processed, the basic shape of that idea remains stuck in your head, while the red warning label saying, "This is fake," slowly peels off and disappears. We like to think of ourselves as objective judges of reality. We see information, weigh it on a scale, and form an opinion. But neurologically, the opposite is true. We form our opinions first, and then we use our brain power to go hunting for evidence that supports us. This is confirmation bias, and it is a powerful biological drug. When you encounter information that agrees with your worldview, your brain releases a tiny splash of dopamine. It feels good. It feels satisfying. It validates your identity and your choices. But when you encounter information that contradicts your beliefs, your brain doesn't just evaluate it logically. It reacts to it as a physical threat. Using functional MRI scans, scientists have watched what happens in the brain when people are presented with political or social facts that contradict their core beliefs. The parts of the brain responsible for logical reasoning quiet down. Instead, the amygdala, the emotional alarm system of the brain, the area that triggers the fight or flight response, lights up like a Christmas tree. Your brain treats an attack on your deeply held beliefs exactly like a physical predator lunging at you. To protect itself, the mind immediately goes to work seeking flaws in the conflicting evidence. But when it reads a fake news story that agrees with its beliefs, the brain welcomes it with open arms, asking zero difficult questions. What if I told you that simply hearing a lie over and over again can force you to believe it, even if you know it's a lie? This is a proven cognitive glitch called the illusory truth effect. In a landmark study, researchers showed participants a series of statements, some true and some false. Over the course of weeks, some of these false statements were repeated multiple times. The result? Even when participants were told straight out that certain statements were false, the mere repetition of those statements caused them to rate them as true later on. Familiarity breeds belief. Why does your brain fall for this? Because your memory uses familiarity as a proxy for accuracy. When you hear a claim for the 10th time, your brain says, I recognize this pattern. It's easy to process. And as we learned earlier, processing ease equals truth to a lazy brain. This is why malicious actors online use bots and coordinated networks. They don't need to write a brilliant argument. They just need to repeat the same lie thousands of times on every platform. Eventually, the lie starts to sound familiar to your brain, and once it feels familiar, it starts feeling true. Humans are not solitary animals. We are tribal. For 99% of our history, being exiled from your tribe was a literal death sentence. You could not survive the winter, find food, or defend yourself against predators alone. Because of this, we evolved to value social belonging over objective, raw truth. If the tribe believes the sun is dragged across the sky by a giant golden chariot, you don't argue with them. You agree, because keeping the peace with your group is more important than being right about astronomy. In modern times, we have different tribes, but the social stakes are exactly the same. If your friends, your family, or your online community all believe a certain narrative, believing a fake news story that supports your tribe isn't about being gullible. It's about showing loyalty. If you speak up and say, "Hey guys, that article you shared is actually fake," you are risking social friction. You are calling your tribe wrong. Your brain would rather hold onto a comfortable, shared falsehood than hold an isolating, lonely truth. If you look at the most successful fake news stories in history, they almost never make people feel calm, content, or peaceful. Instead, they are engineered to evoke high arousal emotions: anger, fear, outrage, disgust. There is a neurological reason for this. When you feel high levels of moral outrage, your body releases adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate increases. Your breathing becomes shallower. These stress responses are designed to prepare you for immediate physical action. But when you're sitting in a chair looking at a screen, you cannot run or fight. Instead, you channel that psychological pressure into the only action available to you. You hit the share button. A study from MIT analyzed over 126,000 stories spread on Twitter over a 10-year period. They found that fake news traveled 6 times faster than the truth. And it wasn't even close. True news struggled to spread beyond a few thousand people. Fake news regularly reached 10 times that amount. Why? Because the truth is often slow, nuanced, and boring. Fake news is custom-tailored to trigger your amygdala and force a reaction before your logical prefrontal cortex has a chance to wake up. There is a dangerous myth that only uneducated or gullible people fall for fake news. But research shows something highly counterintuitive. Sometimes highly intelligent people are actually better at tricking themselves. When a smart person encounters a fake news story that matches their political or ideological beliefs, they don't use their intelligence to check if it's true. Instead, they use their cognitive skills to construct brilliant, elaborate arguments explaining why it must be true. It's called motivated reasoning. If you are highly skilled at debate, logic, and rhetoric, you can find a loophole or defense for almost any belief, no matter how wild. Your brain uses its intelligence not as an objective magnifying glass, but as a weapon to defend its preconceived opinions. So, education and high IQ are not shields against fake news. The only real shield is emotional self-control. You might assume that when someone believes a fake news story, the cure is simple. Just show them the verified facts and correct the error. But psychologists have discovered a bizarre phenomenon known as the backfire effect. Sometimes when you present someone with hard, undeniable evidence that proves their favorite belief is wrong, their belief doesn't weaken. It actually gets stronger. How is that possible? Because when people feel cornered by facts they can't disprove, they feel threatened. To protect their identity, their brain begins searching for alternative explanations to dismiss the facts. They might say, that fact-checking site is biased. The study was funded by corrupt companies. The media is in on the cover-up. By inventing these conspiracy explanations, they find a way to dismiss your evidence, feel vindicated, and dig their heels in even deeper. The act of arguing with someone can inadvertently lock them into their falsehood forever. We are always told to question everything and do your own research. But in the modern world of fake news, this advice can actually be weaponized against you. Absolute denial of all mainstream sources isn't critical thinking. It is just another form of blind belief. If you refuse to believe anything reported by established institutions, you create a massive information vacuum, and your brain cannot stand empty spaces. To fill that blank space, people will often open themselves up to unverified social media accounts, anonymous blogs, and fringe videos. They think they are being skeptical, but they have simply lowered their standards of proof to near zero for any source that claims to be independent or exposing the truth. The most effective fake news operations don't want to convince you of a specific lie. Their real goal is much more dangerous. They want to make you doubt everything. They want you to look at the world and say, who knows what's real anymore? Both sides lie, so nothing matters. Once you stop believing that objective truth even exists, they have won. So, how do we survive this environment? How do we protect ourselves from the cognitive traps built into our own brains? It starts with building a few simple habits. First, slow down. When you see a headline that makes you gasp, feel instantly furious, or want to hit share immediately, pause. Recognize that your amygdala is being targeted. Give your prefrontal cortex 20 seconds to wake up. Second, check the source. Is this a real news organization with a physical address and editorial standards? Or is it a blog with an obscure domain name? Third, ask yourself, what would change my mind? If your answer is, absolutely nothing could ever prove this story wrong, then you are not practicing critical thinking. You are practicing blind faith. The goal of a healthy mind isn't to be a perfect skeptic who believes nothing. It's to be an open observer who is willing to update their mental map when new, reliable evidence comes to light. At the end of the day, people do not believe fake news because they are broken. They believe it because they are intensely human. Our minds evolved over millions of years to thrive in small communities, look for quick patterns, protect our social standing, and react instantly to fear. In the fast-moving digital world, those exact survival skills have become massive architectural flaws. But knowing your brain's weaknesses is your greatest strength. The next time you see an unbelievable story online, don't just ask if it's true. Ask, what emotion is this trying to pull out of me? The moment you can spot the trap, it loses its power over you. Stay curious, stay open, and never be afraid to admit that your brain got it wrong. Because the truth isn't always easy to swallow, but it's the only foundation worth building on. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Hidden Logic for more deep dives into the strange ways our minds, behaviors, and world work. Because understanding the world starts with understanding yourself. See you next time.